We don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down So you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And Chair Powell ended on that note. That was the optimistic tone. What gives him hope? He said, this has just been a really resilient labor market, and that gives him hope that they can bring inflation down without too hard a landing, or he said too extreme a rise in unemployment.
I'm so sick of hearing about every day, all you hear, it's going to be a hard landing. It's going to be a soft landing. Who the hell cares if it's a hard landing or soft landing? We're not pilots. We're stock investors. See, but here's the problem. For those people who don't short stocks, you got a real problem. Because you got to be so right most of the time to make money. I was pointing out to my members today, I said, we did a short. And it's a little short. We made about 15%. Made that in about 5 days, 6 trading days, 15% we shorted. And I said, think about these people in 401ks. They're sitting there all year, hope to make 3% return, if they're lucky. Because remember, there's all kinds of hidden fees, about 32 hidden fees. And if they hit 3%, even 4%. And I said, but they're in there all year to try to make 5%, which they very rarely do. When they could make just one investment shorting a stock and pick up 10%, 15%. See, the point is, you don't always have to be right. If you don't know how to sell short, and you always got to be right buying a stock, you always got to be picking a stock that's going to go up. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard that is? That's insane. And you can't get that across to folks who are in 401ks. If you get across to them, they still hang on to the 401k for their retirement. It's that match. It's that stupid con job of a match. They could not sell 401ks to save their life when they first came out. Couldn't sell them. They had to plug in that will match you. We'll give you a match. And people really think they're getting a match. You're getting squat because they're stealing from you on the other end. But people got in their minds, if I got a 401k, I can retire. If I got a 401k, I can retire. Really? You think so? At a 3% return? God, you can buy the Qs or you can buy the spiders. And if you know how to sell short as well as go long, you can make a minimum of returns between 10 and 12% a year. Just simply learning how to sell short. You don't have to go there and sit and study stocks and study their fundamentals and their PE ratios and all that garbage. You don't got to do any of that. It's just following money. Matter of fact, it's easier now that they rigged the stock market to make money in the stock market. Talk about rigging. Did you catch this? The bank stress test? They're all proud of their bank stress test. What a bunch of garbage that is. Bank stress tests. We passed them with flying colors. Geez, I remember they said the same thing about Hillary Clinton. Remember when Hillary Clinton, when she was running, as campaigning to be president, and then they had a debate, and Donna Brazile was her moderator. I heard the same thing. Boy, she passed with flying colors, flying colors. Well, what do we find out? Donna Brazile gave Crooked Hillary the questions in advance so she would have the answers ready. Well, what do you think they do with the bank stress test? It's the same thing, for God's sakes. The banks get the questions in advance and what the examiners are going to ask them, so that when the examiners show up, they have time. They get it about 6 months in advance, so they have time to fix whatever needs to be fixed. They're going to ask about some different ratios, okay? And so they can go and jig things around to make sure the ratio is right. It's all a scam. It's to get people to feel confident about the banks. A bank stress test passed with flying colors. What are you, nuts? During record high inflation, right? During 15 years of low savings. We haven't had savings this low in 15 years. I think since 1959, savings have been average 8%. We're right now 2.7%. Oh, but bank stress test passed with flying colors. When we have the highest credit card balance, the lowest savings, manufacturing at a 14-year low, productivity's gone to hell, 72-year low, freight activities at a 22-year low, earnings the deepest, the biggest drop in 2 years. We have one of the deepest yield curves ever. So they passed with flying colors, the banks. During a time, the banks are trying to keep from you that they're propping up the failed regional banking system by printing money and injecting this new fresh liquidity each week to prop those banks up, to hold them up. Oh, but they passed their stress tests. They passed their stress tests. What are you, nuts? And during the time, they passed with flying colors, even though the Fed's propping up the tech sector. The tech sector. Are you kidding me? That's right, the tech sector. So they're taking the Magnificent Seven stocks, propping up 2 of the 7, Microsoft, and Microsoft and Apple, keep those propped up to prop up the other 5. I mean, we're in bad shape. But they passed their tests. They passed their tests. So we're propping up the banks. And all this is delaying the crash, remember. That's what they're doing. They're just delaying the crash that's coming. And we're going to go right through that. Everybody talks about the October low. We got to base it in October. We're going to go right through that like, are you kidding me? Knife through butter. So, flying colors. Boy, when I heard that yesterday, I go, first thing I thought of is how Hillary Clinton, they said the same thing about her debate, right? But she cheated. She had the answers. And so don't the banks. Ask anyone that's been in this business a long time how they do the stress test. It's all for show. It's all for show. It's to get your confidence up. Got to get your confidence up. What are you, nuts? Let me ask you, if things were so good as they keep telling us, how resilient everything is, right? The economy is really resilient.
The economies and the labor markets across the globe have just been tremendously resilient.
If that's the case, then why is it the Warren Buffett, for the first time, he's got sitting there, I think the number was like $187 million or $1 billion, whatever he's got. He's not investing it. When was the last time he did that? When was the last time Warren Buffett sat there with all this cash and then put it to work in the market? Never. You ask anybody that's been in this business around 50 years or more, they'll tell you, are you kidding? You're going to go in and start investing in stocks in the market right now? at the very, very top. You're going to start buying the tech stocks at the very, very top. You're going to buy Cisco, and you're going to buy NVIDIA, and you're going to buy Apple. Right now, right at the top today. You're going to chase those stocks today, and you're going to be just fine. This is insane. It's unbelievable. You got to buy stocks when no one wants them. You got to learn how to short.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, we keep hearing how resilient. Consumers are strong, right? None of that's true. Not true at all. And the banks, the reason why they fake the stress test is because if they don't want to have to order the banks to set aside more money for bad loans. So that's why they give them the questions in advance, so they know the answers, they can pass the test, and they don't have to put more money set aside for bad loans. That means there's more liquidity that goes out into the system. I told you yesterday, the beautiful thing about regional banks, those are the banks that keep our economy going, because every time they make a loan in your community, every time they're pushing out liquidity. Liquidity comes into your economy. Every time they make a loan, think of just like a funnel of dollars come pouring in, like a cement truck. They open up, let the chute go down, all the cement comes down. Every time they make a loan, think of that. Big chute of money comes into your community. That's great for your community. Your community expands, jobs expand, small businesses are created. That's where all the jobs come from. So the minute they start tightening credit, then all of a sudden there's no more money flowing out to your community. And that's when everything falls apart. And then people lose their jobs. They go from full-time to part-time to no time to bankruptcy. So that's why they're doing it. But it's not good, not healthy. But that's why they do it. That's why they do it, so they can rig the numbers. That's why between that and the other reason why they want them to do it is the bigger reason, I should say, is for stock buybacks. When banks are in deep trouble or corporations in deep trouble, remember what the Fed wants to do. First thing the Fed does is give them enough money to make sure they can bring interest rates down. The Fed does, and then gives them enough money, low interest rates, so they can buy their own stock. See, the whole thing since 2008 it's been all this low rate money. We've had a whole fake economy from 2008 to where we are today, and we're going to pay for that. But see, it doesn't. But again, if you know how to sell short a stock, you're going to be okay, because you don't have to be right. Think about it. Every time you pick a stock and you don't short one, you never short a stock. You never try to make money on a stock going down. You always buy. You know how good you got to be? You know how good you have to be in trading, investing? You're just going to pick stocks that are going to go up. When you know how to short, what a difference. The pressure is off. And the beautiful thing, when you know how to short as well as go long, then you cut down the amount of stocks that you look at. That makes it beautiful. Then you just look at, keep a portfolio about 6 stocks. You make about 80% on those 6 stocks, 80% of your income, and then you keep a bonus pool of about another 6, 7 stocks, the most popular stocks. We do this every day here at Phil's Gang. So when you're looking at the same stocks every day, it gets so boring you want to pull your hair out. But that's when you start making big returns, when you're bored. Because you control You control the market. You control your six and your. Let's say you have a total portfolio. You're looking at 12 stocks between your regular stocks, your 6 stocks, and your bonus pool of stocks. You're hardly ever wrong because you start learning. You just don't buy a stock because it's going up. You start buying a stock before it goes up. You start buying a stock that's been beaten down. I like the tech stocks. If you take Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, all those stocks, they dropped big time. Remember, they got hit so bad. They're down 30, 40, 50%. And then we kept watching and watching. We said, let's get them when nobody else gets in. Let's get them when nobody else gets in. And that's what we do. And our returns were fantastic. We did the same thing when the banks started to fall apart. We turned around and went and bought all the leisure stocks. We bought Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line. We bought American Airlines, Alaska, and we're up about 30% in those. But we bought them when nobody wanted them on the bottom. And then we short. When everything starts tanking, you don't run around trying. I mean, the whole market's going down, right? Market's going down 300, 400, 500 points 3-4 times during the week, and you're trying to find a stock that's going up? What are you, nuts? How are you going to do that? Instead of taking the stocks, if the majority of stocks are going down, why aren't you trying to make money when they're going down? Because they've been lying to you all these years how dangerous it is to short stocks. No, it's dangerous not to sell stocks short. So this whole deal with the banks passing their tests, flying colors, has about as much credibility as when Donna Brazile gave Hillary Clinton all her answers, and everybody went around the Democrats saying how she passed with flying colors. Listen to this.
I think what is interesting is, like, if you look at the GDP, when you look at housing, when you look at consumer, everything points that the economy is so resilient.
How can he say that? When you look at the GDP, what do we find out with the GDP? We look at the GDP. It was at 5%. It's now 1.3%. How does that point to everything's good? It was at 5% when Biden took over. Okay, 5% when he took over. Now 1.3%. And he's telling us how good things are. And listen to this.
The economies and the labor markets across the globe have just been tremendously resilient.
What do you mean resilient? There you go again, labor. They always talk about, boy, look at all the jobs out there. Boy, that's a strong labor market. Look at all the jobs. There's 20 million jobs out there. Boy, we can't feel them. We can't fill them. That's a strong labor market. No, you idiot. That's not a strong labor market. You know what a strong labor market is? Is when you're getting paid much more than inflation. You're getting paid much more than inflation. And you want to know what is a strong labor market? When you don't need a second and third job. You know what's a strong labor market? When you don't need those damn part-time jobs. When you don't have those part-time jobs. Now that's a strong labor market. And you're getting paid and you're at a good job where you're getting benefits. That's a strong labor market. The garbage we have right now, they're calling a strong labor market where people are working 2-3 jobs with no benefits, garbage service jobs. What are you, nuts? More when I get back. We'll start working on some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox Business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so think about this. The stock market, like the country, they keep bragging. We've had the longest expansion over 13 years. Remember, the Qs are going up 1,200%, the S&P about 375. But here's what they don't tell you. Okay? It's all due to corporate profits, right? Driven by what? Stock buybacks. We call it profits without prosperity. And all these so-called profits, again, driven by, stock prices all have been driven by stock buybacks. And most of the profits, if we didn't have the tax cuts, there wouldn't be any profits. If you take the 465 companies in the S&P 500 that spent for 13 years $5.3 trillion, so 465 companies of the S&P 500 spent over the 13 years $5.3 trillion for stock buybacks. Now combine that with the 2018 tax cut, that's 68% of the net income. What are you, nuts? And you don't think we're in a bubble? Why do you think they're out there propping this market up? Why do you think they're out there putting $15 trillion into 2 tech stocks to prop up 7? Why do you think they're lying and rigging the stress test of these banks? They don't want to order these banks to put more money in set aside for bad loans. They want to prop the banks up. Keep buying your own shares. I mean, everything. We have the largest corporate debt in history. So when they say how, the consumer is resilient, how could he be resilient when corporations have the biggest debt in history, and we're going to have $1.2 trillion debt rolling over starting now through 2024, all commercial debt, and most of the properties are down 35 to 45% in value. They're going to hand the keys in. That's going to be one hell of a mess. That's going to drop this market below October lows, I'll tell you. Only 35 corporations of the S&P 500 took on debt to finance new equipment, new machinery. See, it used to be before QE, companies would take all their profits and plow them back in for new equipment, new machinery to increase productivity. Our productivity is the lowest ever. We're at a 70-year low because they don't take money anymore to plow back into their companies for new machinery, new equipment, so that you can be more productive. So you're an employee, instead of doing 5 widgets an hour, you can do 1,000 widgets an hour. That means that productivity goes up, sales go up, and then your pay goes up and your standard of living goes up. No. They screwed you. They said, no, the CEOs. Let the CEOs make 300-400 times more than the worker, because we're going to take all that money. We're not going to put into new equipment, new machinery. We don't care about the standard of living of the worker. No, we're going to get all our stock options. We're going to make a fortune on stock buybacks. And again, it's a bubble and a bubble and a more bubble. So you only got 35 corporations out of the 500 that actually did what they're supposed to do. Are you just plain nuts? It's all been to benefit the CEOs and the largest shareholders for 13 years, this QE. No one's ever been honest. They're not honest with you. But here's the thing. If you know how to sell a stock short, it doesn't matter. Because you're not under the pressure that you have to always pick that right stock that's going to go up. And when you got this kind of overhang, are you kidding me? This is crazy. And the big institutional buyers that really push the market up, they're not in the market. Look at Warren Buffett. He's got $122 billion. He's sitting on the sidelines. He's not putting it to work. He's just one big institutional investor. All the others are doing the same thing. They know what's coming. They know a big crash is coming. But they already made their money like we have. They've already made their money just like we have. You have to get in early. And they're saying how the consumer is so resilient. Wait a minute. We're in our 25th consecutive month of declines in wages. Well, CEOs are making 300 times more than their employees. Their wages are going up. This is nuts. You already see the housing market. Let's talk about some stocks. All right, look. If all you did every day, if you just took the spiders, okay, and you went in and you took our Pro 2 color-coded chart, all right, I'll give you a good example if you can see this, all right? If you're on Facebook, Rumble, Apple, YouTube. By the way, if you're listening to my radio show on one of my stations, that's great. But we also are on podcasts too, okay? Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, Apple, YouTube, all right? Okay. And also you can go to Instagram and YouTube where I do these small 1-minute segments, and you may like those. We get a lot of response on those. So just check it out. They're fun to read. They're little videos. They're 1 minute only, and there's some cool stuff in there. All right, so let's just take, for example, the spiders. So let's take when we got a buy signal on April 3rd. Okay, April 3rd. Now, April 3rd, we got a perfect buy signal. It turned green. It went from red to green. That's our chart. We designed this chart, so we'll do that. So it turned from red to green. So we bought that stock around $411, okay, the spiders. Today, it's at $444. So what would that be? That's 408, and now it's 444. That's got to be, what, 15%? Something like that. So if that's 9%, if all you did, think about it, you got to sweat all year that you're going to make a 3% return on your 401k. Here, you would have made, okay, a 9% return from April 4th to today. And you're covered for the year. You made 9%. You think you're going to make 9% in your 401k? What are you, nuts? And every time you just get comfortable with your 401k, you think you got a lot of money to retire with, that's when you go into a crash. And you're never out of these 401ks when it crashes. You're always in them. And then every time the stock, you have a crash, you keep calling your broker, what should we do? What should we do? We'll cost average down. We'll cost average down. What are you, nuts? So here's some of the stocks that I've been telling my members to work with. Now, please don't take these stocks and go buy them, okay? Because, people will do that. They lose money because I can't. How am I going to get a hold of you? I can say buy a certain stock today, okay? But by Wednesday, it may have been a bad idea. So we may want to turn around and short it because it's going to go down. See, that's the difference, too, with shorting. Let's say you buy a stock, and it looks good. It goes up for 2 days, 3 days, looks good. But now it turns around and starts going down. You don't get out of this stock and go look for another one that's going up. If the stock's going down, doesn't it make sense? If it's going down and you believe it's going down, why are you getting out to go look to buy a stock? So if you made, let's say, 5% on a stock going up, also the stock starts going bad, starts going down, why in the hell are you getting out of that stock and go look for another stock to go long? But that's what 99% of people do. But if you switch your position in that stock, and the color-coded chart tells you it turns red. I mean, I don't understand why you're going through the pain with these 401ks. I know, I get a match. You get a match, all right, right up your butt. Geez, oh God, matches. Give me a break. Okay, match. Look, here, look on the spider. If you're following me on Facebook, Rumble, Apple, YouTube, look. Are you kidding me? See how it turned green right here? 9%. That's better than a 401k, isn't it? More when I get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days. Check it out.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also, listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, good afternoon, gang. It's Steve Celeste here with philsgang.com. Just wanted to tell you how to get engaged with Phil's Gang and how to become part of the Phil's Gang membership or how to try us for 10 days free. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's www.philsgang.com and click on Get Started at the top of the website. Click on the big red banner that says Working Investor 10-day free trial, and that's all you got to do. And hey, while you're at the website, why not stop by our gift shop, see if there's something in there for you or for somebody you know. All right, thanks, and back to you, Phil.
Okay, Steve, why don't you join Steve and I? 10 days free. Just go to philsgang.com. We'll get you to learn how to short in those 10 days free. We'll have you use our Pro 2, which is tremendous aid. What an aid it is, okay? Because it tells you when to short. It tells you when to go long. It's color-coded. It's not a game. We designed it. Use it for 10 days. You make a decision yourself if it's any good or not. Okay? You can make that decision. I mean, this is crazy. This market, I mean, believe me, the one nice thing about selling short is, like, say, we're still in Microsoft, we're still in Apple, we're still in Meta, we're still in Nvidia, Amazon. We're in those stocks. And we know they're all fake. We know those stocks we know why they're going up. They're all being rigged to go up. Because where's the money coming from to push them up? From the banks. In other words, the Federal Reserve is propping up the banks with tremendous liquidity. They can't let these regional banks fail. Because remember, regional banks is what keeps our whole country together. I told you yesterday, a regional bank, when they stop making loans, the country's screwed. When regional banks make a loan, the first thing it does, it puts liquidity, it puts money into your community. That means your community has new jobs. People are buying things. Small businesses are buying new machinery, and the guy who makes machinery, he gets another job. And it's a terrific thing the way it works. Never mind these gangster banksters like Goldman Sachs. They don't do anything for you. It's all global. We could care less about them. And then they got a gangster running them. That's Powell. He's an idiot, right? Powell has nothing to do with the regional banks. He's not. The Federal Reserve's not on top of those regional banks like they are on the global banks. They're always talking to the global banks all the time. So the regional banks are so important. And if the regional banks are screwed up, why aren't you shorting them? Just short them. You know, it's frustrating because, for example, we saw the tech stocks going up and we saw the bank stocks going down. And we knew that was going to happen because one thing we'll teach you, and you remember, how to look at a yield, 10-year Treasury yield. If a yield is going up, and your bank stock should be going up, right? Yield up, bank stocks up. Because yields mean higher interest. Banks make money and higher interest. But banks were going down, not up. So what's that tell you? You got a terrific short. Here, give you an example. Take Goldman Sachs, one of our shorts. We shorted that in March 6th, I think it was, 2023. So it turned red, and that was around $358. It went down. We caught a sweet spot. It went down to a low of 304. What a perfect trade it was because everything lined up. So we had a 15% gain. So you just use 10 to 15. We'll average out. Maybe some of our game members got in later. So let's say 10 to 15%. But wait a minute. That's from March 6th to March 17th. Now, if you're in a 401k, can you make that kind of money? You don't make that money all year. And for the stock to go down like that, and people, what they do, all of a sudden they see the stock going down. Let's say they're in it. They see it going down. They get out. And they go try to find a stock that's going up. But if you have a bad breath in the market, we got more stocks going down than up, and you're out there trying to find a stock to go up, it's so hard. But see, once you're in a stock and it's going up, you're making money. Now all of a sudden you get a signal that it's going to go back down. You just switch your position. How many times have you gotten out of stock? You said, "Boy, I think this one's going to go down. I got to get out. I got to get out. This thing's going to go down before I lose money." Well, if you have that feeling in your gut, what the hell are you doing getting out of the stock? Turn around and sell it short. And you got to have confidence to do that. We'll give you that confidence. Our charts will give you that confidence over 10 days. Not like you got to pay for it. You don't pay for anything. It's free. And then we'll make a hell of an investor out of you. So it's terrific that the market's screwed up. I'd hate to go back to the days when they aren't doing QE anymore and they're not playing all these games and you got to go back to watching earnings and compare earnings from one stock to another stock in the same group. Do I buy GE or do I buy Honeywell? Let me look at their numbers. Oh my God, pull my hair out. Are you kidding? Are you nuts? But when everything's all screwed up because everybody's out for themselves, the CEOs are out for themselves, the Federal Reserve, the owners are out for themselves. Remember, like George Carlin, I loved him. And I mean, he said, I always have this cut here to play because it's such a great cut. Listen to what he says.
You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
Isn't that wonderful? That's the truth. That's the truth. So that's our system today. Just like college. These poor kids keep going to college. They're talking about college today, right? The Supreme Court came down and said, oh, no more. I mean, if you have this, now, I don't want to get into politics on this discussion, but again, I think if a kid works hard, it doesn't matter if he's white, blue, or green. Whoever does the best job gets into school. But let's talk, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, but let's just take, for example, take October 1, 2021, right? At the end of the fiscal year, 2021, the national debt was at $28 trillion. We're not talking 30 years ago here. This is 2021. We're at $32 trillion today. So between the end of fiscal year 2020 and the end of fiscal year 2021, the national debt grew by $1.5 trillion. That's a 5.6% increase year over year. Are you nuts? For fiscal year 2022, Biden budget included a deficit of $1.8 trillion. And by August 2022, the national debt has grown to $30.8 trillion. What are you, nuts? So when Biden takes office, the economy and household finances were still reeling from the pandemic. And Biden continued, a policy of spending like a madman to try to keep households afloat. And then in March 2021, he signs the stupid plan, the American Rescue Plan. Remember, all of those rescue plans, whether it was the American Rescue Plan or the, what the other two are called, American Rescue Plan and the, just this slipped my mind. Anyways, what were the other two called? Well, I forgot. Anyways, it just went through my mind. Doesn't matter. So his three plans, he destroyed our country with all these plans. All it was spending. We don't have enough revenue coming in. So that means we got an opportunity to sell short. And that's what we started to do. We started to sell short. Oh, here it is. Okay. The American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Omnibus Bill. That has put us the mess we are in today. Why we're in such a mess, why this market's going to go down at least 40 to 50%, taking out that October low when they stop playing. Remember, the crash has been delayed because they're supporting these banks. They're printing money to support these banks. That's why the crash has been delayed. And then they take extra money to support the five tech stocks that are holding up the whole market. But it's going to end. But in the meantime, join our gang, learn how to buy a stock, and learn how to sell a stock short. What a difference it makes.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.